Good morning. Welcome to EduSet Network. Friend, today we are going to discuss the human relation in any organization. And in the present time, organization is using many more types of machines, and machine dominates the whole system. But if you look at properly and look beyond the machine, you will find the role of human machine is more important than the machine, the physical machine which we appears, because machine can help in doing the thing faster way, but if you want to do anything efficiently, you want to enhance the productivity of organization, you want to have play an important role, because the competition era also. So the role of man is very important. You have to treat the human being with respect and dignity. We will try to understand today lecture all these aspects, how a human being can be motivated for the achieving certain goal, or how they can be motivated to do a work efficient way. And for discussion on this very topic, we have in studio Professor Nirmal Bhatnagar. She is an academician, educator, trainer, counselor. She has been helping a student in charting out their career for many years, and helps in even the general masses how to achieve it in their life. And she has been also a corporate trainer, so I think her knowledge and experience will help us to understand this topic, and will give insight, and also help us to how to get more out of the limited resources, limited manpower. So on your behalf, I welcome her for EduSet lecture on this very topic. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Today, as you just heard, we're going to talk about human relations. Human relations vis-a-vis the organization. You all know that the world is changing fast. There is no more those days when one boss could say anything and you just, without even knowing, questioning or doing anything, follow whatever the boss said. It was almost like dictatorial organization running. The top man was supposed to be the full knowledgeable guy who needed to say a thing and things were done. And many of the people who had their mindset on other things which could do the things better could not even utter a word. But with the changing world, changing system in management, human resource has acquired its importance. People have started realizing, despite all the machinery, all the knowledge of the top guy, the human being working in the organization need to be properly looked after. Their relations need to be improved. The top men must have proper interaction with them, and their potentials must be taken out if the organization has to achieve the best in the interest of returns. Now we're going to talk today about small things and then build up the story. Now the first thing is that human beings are not machines. They're not lifeless things. They have sentiments. They are living beings, and they have moods, they have brain, they have a heart which gets disturbed, they have a brain which needs to work, they have sentiments which have to be honored, and they also have dignity. That dignity needs to be taken care of. Like anybody at any level working has an ego, and that ego needs to be satisfied if you want that person to be active, that you want that person to contribute the best. Now, if these human resources are not taken care of about their sentiments, about their humanity, things can go a very bad way in any organization. Now, these things are getting popular in modern setups. Before we set up an office, have you ever thought why we think of having a nice ambience in the office? Why should we put a plant? Why should we put flowers? Why should we have the walls clean? Why should we have photographs, nice photographs around? Why should we pay attention to a very good toilet? Why do we pay attention to having served tea at a particular time? Why do you like to have meetings? All these things are only from one angle, that in a good organization, you are trying to innovate. You are trying to seek the best of the cooperation from your human resource. You are satisfying the human resource creating a desire in the human resource to come to the workplace. You've seen there are offices where people don't have incentive even to come, but they come because it's an earning place where they get the money. And when they come without any incentive, without any desire, then their efficiency goes down several points and they're not able to give what they have to give to the organization. They don't put in best of their effort. They don't feel that organization belongs to them and they should do something special to take it up. They are forced to work. Now, forced working to desired working has a lot of difference. When you're forced to do a thing, then you do it because you have to do it, but you don't put best of your self into it. But when it is a desired doing, then you want to contribute much more than you are asked to contribute. So ultimately, all these things that I'm telling you are being added by modern management systems to get the maximum out of their people. Ultimately, the management gets a lot from an employee by giving employee certain things that we are going to talk about today. Now, what are these relationships? You know, in the house we have relationships with the junior most menials that come to your house, the servants, the maids, the other people. We talk to them nicely. We sometimes talk about their house, we talk about their children, we talk about if they are comfortable, we give them a medicine if they are sick. We do so many things which are not supposed to be done. If we take the attitude, we are paying them the salary and that's enough. And they are supposed to do whatever we tell them. By doing these little things, we are making them feel that they belong to us. We are worried about them. Now, this sense of belonging feeling is what needs to come between the human relations and which is very, very necessary. So, in today's world, the management is not only just paying. Money is an incentive, money is a need, money is needed to work, that may be the top priority. But once a person gets the salary, he wants to know what else. And that what else is not always the financial gain, but gain on the front of humanity. How your boss treats you. Does he ask you to take a seat when you walk into his room? Does he tell you nicely about an order he is giving you? Does he treat you like a human being? Or he treats you like a, just like an employee and orders all the time and he never even asks. Somebody coming late to the office, maybe there is a reason. Instead of asking for the reason and you just shout at him and say that you are late, I'm going to cut your salary, I'm going to do this, and show him the rules and without even knowing what is mentally going behind him. So time has come in relationships or in an organization that we should see beyond the financial benefit you're giving to an employee. And I'm happy to see that the new companies which are coming up, the new management which is coming up, is looking into it. And HR has gained, human relations has gained a very, very big seat in organizational setup. It's only in the older managements that people are still struggling with the employees without finding out where things are going wrong. You have seen in the modern companies, the young boys and girls who join them, they feel so happy, they are moving about, they can walk into the senior's office, they can discuss with them, they can refute them, they can tell them, no ma'am, it's not like this, no sir, it's not like this will be like this and it's better if we do things like this. Now this sort of suggestion giving, allowing them to use their brain, gives them a feeling that they can add to the efficiency of the place, efficiency of the company, efficiency of the work they are doing. And they feel that they are also part of a game being played. Now, in any organizations, if you see there are meetings going on, now the management is through walking and talking, we call it. Now, what is this walking and talking management? Now, walking and talking management is again related to human values and human relations. Now, what are these human relations we're talking about? You know, you can take a suggestion, you can call 10 people around in a meeting, sit together and ask them that this is the problem, how do we solve it? Let everybody contribute, let all brains give their suggestions. Maybe you accept them or not accept them, but you've got 10 propositions before you. Your mind was only one, now you're thinking with 11 minds, and both those 11 minds, something will come up. Maybe you decide on the basis of the opinion you've got. So see the advantage you are having in this sort of, and on the other hand, you've created a feeling amongst those 10 people who have you called for a meeting that they also matter. Their suggestions do matter. Their brains do matter. So in this series, it is very necessary to understand, if you are going into an organization, at any position you are, you must understand one thing, that the people around you are also having some sort of what we call dignity. They also have brain. They also can contribute. They are also part of the organization. I compare an organization to a vehicle, like a motor car. Now, anything, even if you're driving your car and a small little cut sound is coming over, it is irritating you. You have to set it right, kahan se aa rahi hai, what is happening, and unless it is set right, you are absolutely uneasy. So, you know, everybody in an organization is a part of that motor. And unless everybody works smoothly together in as one, feeling togetherness, one little part going out, you know how it irritates you. So even the smallest what you call unit in an organization needs to be kept in right spirit and in right this thing. So what we say, that maintaining your machines, which are your what you call efficiency of the office, as we all understand, there are latest machines which can add on to your manufacturing, to your office work more fast, more easy. You have to maintain those machines in a particular temperature. You have to maintain those machines, clean them up, call a mechanic to set them right. Similarly, we should make human beings as the machines of the day. And these human beings are special machines, and they also need to be what we call looked after, and we have to time oil them, we have to time look after them, we have to time see for their convenience, see for their comforts, and if we don't do it, we are failing in the proper management system. So one thing is necessary, that things like creating an atmosphere in the office, creating an atmosphere in an organization that people feel like coming, people feel enthusiastic in coming. And like, I'll give you a little example. If you have an office where things are shabbily kept, where your table is not cleaned properly, your room is shabby, your place of working is not good, and there's this what you call toilet which is stinking, there is surroundings are not good, you become like that. You don't want to come. You have to come because you have to come. You are being paid by that organization. You sit there, you are half the time you are not very happy, and with this unhappiness your mood goes bad, and you are looking at the files, looking at the papers, creating a note, preparing a project. Anything that you're doing gets affected. Even if you're operating a machine and your mood is not very good, and if you're not happy, you're not laughing or something, or you're something on your head, you will see that your efficiency suddenly drops down. So it is necessary that the first thing that we should look into the environments. Make sure that minimum possible hygienical environments are provided, so that a person who comes to work feels good and is proud of his office and other things. Now, the second thing that we talk about is, it is very necessary that time to time things like relationships, like in the sense, have get-togethers. Try to make your own department people come to your room more often, or while you are going out or in, talk to them. How are you? Good morning. How's small little, humanities? They take you a big way in your life. So it is very necessary not for the top man. I've seen organizations where an employee has never seen the face of his top boss, or has never even said good morning or good afternoon to his top boss. He knows there is a top boss. Now, who's the top boss? Even if he's around, no employee has ever seen that boss. Now, this is what we call bad relations. Human beings are alike. They feel important. Like if a boss is walking into the chamber and just smiles away at everybody or says hello to anybody, he doesn't lose anything, but he doesn't know what he has given to the employees. He has given them the biggest incentive to work for the day. You walk into the lift days after days, years after years, and that lift man is there, and you know he's the lift man. But has anybody ever bothered to smile at him, to say, भैया अच्छे हो, और कैसे हो भैया, आज तो तुम बड़े खुश हो, कोई बात है. Give him that feeling that we care. It's we care is the word which is very important in today's world. So everything that we do, anything that we do, takes us one step up. And ultimately, who is the gainer? The organization is the gainer. There are people who are very popular, there are people who are very unpopular. How it happens? Again, the human relations is the basic thing. There are people who have a smile on their face. There are people who come and say, Bhaiya Pache, how's your mother? How's your daughter? Somebody's children are not well or something. Somebody has got a problem. Somebody said, is your problem solved? Is everything all right? A little 2 minutes, how much time does it take? But it improves your style of working. That man will do 20 times more than what he does in the routine course. Now, apart from this, there are things in the minds of the top people that they should be involved in everything themselves. There are times you need to involve the juniors also. Juniors need to be involved in many ways. Like, they may not be very capable or may not be so educated or something to take up the top decisions or do the top writing work, but they can always be assisting you. I give you a little example out here to make you understand. Suppose you have been allotted a work, a project to carry out. Maybe you have been asked that some guests are coming in the office and you have to look after all the arrangements and maybe a conference or something like that. Now you think you are the big boss, you've got the instructions. You don't involve, you just keep calling, come here, do this, come here, do this. You are not even taking care to involve them. The best thing could be that if you called all of them in a meeting and said, look, we have been given this task to perform. Today, a group is coming and our department has been asked to look after them, do this, this, this. Okay, let's divide the work. You look after the hall arrangement, you look after the tea arrangement, you look after this. And tell your PN also, Bhaiya, you also be around so that there is nothing wrong. If we ask for something, you are there. Now see how the change take place. Each one feels, my God, it's for me to do. It's my responsibility. Little bit of human ego you have touched, that's all. You have given that person that you are also important. You can also perform and you do the overall supervising. Though you have done that job, but the others getting involved and the way you have made them do the task will feel that everybody has got activated and everybody will see that the things go better. You get more efficiency, you get more success. So, little bit of thinking. A time has come when all of us who are going into executive jobs, all MBA students who are young enough and who have to enter the life in the career of executives in smaller companies, bigger companies, or start their own enterprises, it's become absolutely necessary that they look into the first thing, that is human understanding. Unless you understand human beings who are working for you, unless you know what they desire, unless you know how to satisfy them, it's not only the money. You may pay somebody a very big fat money, he will be there. Again, I give you a little example out here. Suppose I engage a person, a young boy or a young girl, or maybe a middle executive, and tell him, okay, I'll pay you ₹1,00,000 per month. All you have to do is to go into that room, close the door, sit alone there for a whole day, and I paint the walls dark black or brown or something, and tell him you have to do nothing, just sit there. Get in at 10 o'clock, come out at 5 o'clock. You will see after some time this guy will go mad. He'll say, to hell with your ₹1,00,000, I don't want to work at all. Because human beings have needs. Human beings require atmosphere. They require interaction. They require their sentiments to be shared by people. And we cannot treat them like robots, that you time them up and they, according to your timing, they are going on and on and on. They have, even the smallest things like weather affects a human being. Suppose the weather is very nice outside, suddenly it's out of great heat, the clouds come and it's raining and the weather is, there's a nice breeze going on. You feel like opening the windows, you feel like going out for 5 minutes or having a cup of tea or interacting with someone. Oh, lovely weather. Now, there are places of work where we don't look into it. What we do is, no, this is the straight line, you have to work on this line, come in the morning, sit here, this is your task, do this, go away. Now, it is not true that you can do anything much by taking hard lines like this. The top bosses, the middle bosses, the what we call the down below bosses needs to have interaction. Interaction with people to increase. Suppose somebody is tired and is sitting quiet and is not working after putting in 2 hours work, and he's just sitting quiet for 10 minutes or sipping a cup of tea. You can't go and tell him, काम नहीं है तुम्हारे पास. We generally do that. It's wrong. Ask him, oh, so you're enjoying your cup of tea? After you finish, can you please do this for me? Go to any of these Western countries' offices. I have seen that we quote these Western management in many ways, and many people say, oh, in that English company, in that NRI company, this happens, this happens, this happened, the boss behaves. Mostly I've seen when I go out, they talk to their secretaries by name. They are not sitting tight in their rooms and calling a person 10 times, आइए ये काम कर दीजिए, आइए ये काम कर दीजिए. And they go on telling them, okay, I want you to do this later, I want you to do this later, I want you to attend to this phone. All the time they're calling them in and out, and by the 4 o'clock they say, oh, you couldn't even finish 2 letters. Without realizing that all the time the person has been in and out of your room. In all these foreign companies, you will find the bosses getting up from the table, going to the secretary's table and saying, after you finish this, please attend to this also. They don't waste her time. And she feels very good. They call her by name. They say, Jane, will you please do this for me? And they use this word, please, thank you, sorry, so many times during the day, that a person who is working for them feels so elevated that they want to carry out the work. Yes, sir, I'll do it. Please give it to me. These are called soft words. We love that somebody uses them with us. Why should we use them only for the top people? Why not for the people down below? The people down below, Bhaiya Shukriya. Somebody gives you a cup of tea, Bhaiya, thank you. Somebody does a job for you, brings it on your table. Little word, well done, good, that was a good way, that was nice. These are small little good words in life we all know. They are called incentives. Human incentives are not money alone. I'm not calling that money is not an incentive. In the modern times, of course, money does matter. You have to live with your money, you have to live with your pay package. But there are incentives which we call human incentives. Human incentives are somebody is sure that if his child is going to get sick, he will be attended without any problem. There is some medical scheme in the office. There is some sort of hospital where you have seats. If you are transferring somebody from Delhi to Bombay, the person knows that in Bombay my child will have no problem, my family will have no problem. There is a company house, the company is looking after me, my children will get a seat in a particular school. If you have that, you have no difficulty in movement also, because you are taken care of. Now the care is not only limited to a human, what you call person working in your office. A person is linked with his family. Family and the people supporting him are very important also. So taking care of the family also, sending a bunch of flowers on a good occasion in the family, going yourself and attending, finding little time to ask, your daughter got married, everything went okay, it has done the job. It may be 2 sentences for you, but for the human being to whom you have told this, it's the biggest thing. He will go and tell 20 people, 40 people in his family, oh, boss was asking about my daughter's wedding. And what is the gain of the organization? He will always say, bhai, hamare yahan to everybody is like that. In our office, the atmosphere is excellent. So he has become a free advertiser, a free advertisement of your company. You're not paying anything to profess your company, your brand image, but you are still, he's doing it. I have seen, people coming out of several organizations, which you may call, I don't want to name, like maybe those who are still working on the old systems. They come out in the morning little fresh, but by the time you see them coming out of the offices, they look so harassed, they look so tired, they look as if they're coming out of a mill where they were throughout under a big tensions. And I've seen people coming out of some of the very good companies, and you stand outside and just watch the young boys and girls and the executives and even the workers come out. Oh, they look so fresh, bubbling and happy, talking, chit-chatting, smiling. What is the difference? Why human beings are, and you ask them, भाई तुम्हारी कंपनी, भाई वो तो बड़ी अच्छी कंपनी है, हमारी कंपनी में तो ये भी होता है, हमारे ऑफिस में तो भी होता है, हमारे बॉस तो हमें बर्थडेज के ऊपर गिफ्ट भी रखते हैं, हमारे यहाँ ये होता है. They talk so many things about their organizations. What is all this tamasha? Now this is nothing but what we were talking about, human relations in an organization. Any organization you pick up, may it be the shop, may it be a very big company, everywhere the human relations have acquired a very important place. And wherever people are not, recognizing them, their efficiency is suffering because their name brand is getting spoiled outside. Anywhere you ask someone, the first question you ask, और भैया काम कैसे चल रहा है? How's your organization? How are you working in your job? Some people say, चल रहा है, getting along, nothing very special. Bas, one has to go. They'll never talk anything good about the company. Rather, they'll say, oh, we don't get this, this is very bad, the company doesn't have clean water, this is not there, all sorts of things happening. Whereas on the other way, where human relations are taken care of, the human beings, you meet them in meetings, you meet them outside, you meet them in parties, you meet them in functions, and say, "Bhai, how's your organization? How is your work going?" "Oh, excellent. We get very good thing. This is happening, that is happening. We had a seminar, we had a get together, we had a Diwali fest when all the children were invited." I'll give you an example of a company I was visiting when I was visiting Dubai. You know, in Dubai, there's a CEO, and I was staying with someone who works in that company. So the gentleman said, "Ma'am, we are going out for a party and you are also invited." I said, "No, I cannot go because it's your company's party." He said, "No, you are our relation. We have given your name and you are coming." You'll be surprised, that was the annual meet of the company. They'd booked an entire hotel with beach and everything, and the whole families, right from PN's family to the top CEO's families, were there. And they were all mixing with each other, playing cricket together, playing volleyball together, beach games together, then they were eating together. And not only that, at the end of the evening, there was a little cultural show, and then they had a big cake of the company. And they said that the youngest member of the company's family is going to cut. And there was a small little girl who had a baby who was about, I think, 2 months old. And they brought that baby to cut the cake. And that was called, and there was a big fun out of that. And then they had gifts for everybody, and all family members. And the CEO himself shook hands with, right from PN, met his whole family, gave them gifts, even to the children. That means they maintained a list of everybody. And to my shock, I was taken as the auntie of a particular this thing. And a gift came and they announced my name and say, "Now this is for a visiting relation of our so-and-so." And they brought the little gift. And I mean, like, this is what we call human relations. And see, this incident happened almost about 6 years back, and I still cannot forget it. This is what we call a human relation feeling, that you should make everybody feel that you're part of the family. And anything going wrong with you, this is your organization. You're spending best of your lifetime, like the best of our lifetime we spend in our workplace. So you can walk into my room and tell me what is your trouble, and wherever possible, I'm there to solve it out for you. If you get that sort of confidence from the workplace, then see the efficiency of the organizations, sincerity, loyalty of the people. And this is what is needed for any organization to go ahead and to achieve what they want to achieve. Because machines, we pay a lot of attention, spends lakhs and crores of modernizing a thing, going on modernizing the machines, going on modernizing our offices, getting new equipment, getting new transports, new cars, new automobiles, everything we get. But do we think even 1% of that amount, if we spend to renovate our human resource, how much do we gain? Nothing happens unless the human resource, the human beings working, are looked after. So please remember, I once again say, this is a message I want to give to my young executives, to my young people who are just coming out of MBAs, that don't forget the books that you have read about your human relations, HR. Don't forget that those books are not merely principles that you learned. You have to follow, you have to study what are the type of human resource you have in your organization. Maybe you are a computer guy, maybe you are a marketing person, you're not an HR person, but you are working with human resources within small ambit of your work. And those human resources are your responsibility to convert them into the loyalist of the company, to look after them, to know them, what is their background, where they come from. You know, you should, unless you know a person very well, you cannot interact with that person. You know, there are times when we are harsh, but there are times when we learn how to, not take our moods on other people's moods. You know, if you have a trouble in the house, or if the boss is unhappy over something, generally it is seen that he'll come to the office and for no rhyme or reason he'll call his people and try to pick up small little matters and find something on which he can shout out and take out his anger. It is not right. This is where the things go wrong. You know you have been an efficient person, you know you are a loyal person, you're doing your job with full integrity, and suddenly one day you find you're called and you are fired, you are shouted upon, nobody knows why, because the boss mood is bad. You cannot take out your moods on other people like this. So please remember that human beings are the most important machines in the current scenario of management. Though we are becoming modernized day by day, and more modernized we are, more we are to look after our human beings. It is very necessary that if you modernize your human resource also. If you go ahead on your machines, you should give proper training to your human resource on those machines, not make them feel. You know, long back, I remember an incident when I was young. Reserve Bank was supposed to go on computerization. They were to go on e-systems. And big bosses were discussing to get computers and modernize the whole system. The things are obviously, like in any office, they get tilted down. And there was a news around, machines aa rahi hain, and with these new machines which are called computers, half of the work will be done by them, and there's going to be, all of us will be useless and we'll be all turned out, we'll lose our jobs. Things went on to union level, to other level, and there was such a disturbance. No boss thought that human beings need to be told, they have to be shared with communication, they have to be told that nothing like this is going to happen. What do they plan about human resource? Nothing. Suddenly one fine day, a big strike, that was a known strike of Reserve Bank that happened, and the whole system went jammed. Then somebody realized that we should share. And then they shared with them that though we're getting the machines fine, but many of you will be trained on those machines. We're not going to get new hands. We are going to provide you training. You're going to work on them. Those who are aged and cannot work on them can work behind the machines to prepare feeders into the machines. And that satisfied the whole situations. Little human communication, human confidence. So human beings require confidence, they require security, they require the biggest thing, sense of belonging. You don't let a person be working, ki tankha to mil rahi hai, and the boss doesn't call him for years together or for months together. He doesn't see others are called by boss off and on, and that person sits doing his work quietly in the corner, is never called in a meeting or anywhere, though he is contributing. A day will come and he will become miserable. Maybe he'll become a mental state. He thinks I'm useless. I mean, like a useless thrown up thing lying on one side. And he will never do anything beyond that. So it is very necessary that human beings are given sense of belonging. That is, you also belong to it. You can take your home. In the house, if you go on giving everything to one child all the time, tum karo, and tumi batao, what happens to the other children? They feel left out. And being felt left out, they stop taking interest in any matter around. And when you tell them to do something, they will not do it. They will have a very indifferent attitude. So, human relations, if we count them one by one, I'll start out with one. Number one, provide good human environments. Provide the minimum, what we call hygienical standards. Number two, look after their comforts. It's not that by looking after their comforts you are over what you call doing something with them. Minimum comforts. The comforts are that a human being requires to get up from the seat. The sitting chair has to be comfortable. Number three, that you give them an interaction, converse with them, talk to them, share things with them. Number 4, do not be too secretive. Openness, sharing problems, I'm not asking you to share the, what you call the formulas or confidential things, but general problems, general interactions, provide them with tasks, appreciate. Use good words with employees, which is very necessary. Using good words means, thank you, sorry, कैसे हो भैया, और सब ठीक है, namaste, good morning, good afternoon, a little good, a little well done. These are the words which will make them happy and increase their efficiency. Then one more thing which is very important, provide them sense of security. Sense of security is not that you physically tell them, hum ye karenge. At least they should know that in case I am in trouble, my organization is there, they will be able to do something for me. That is called sense of security. That if I'm working here, the work, something is wrong, I'm sorry. In case you have sense of security, you can be more giving. Then another thing which is very important is celebrate with them. You can have a Diwali get together, you can have a New Year get together, you can have an annual this thing. When you have this, these open houses we call them, or these celebrations, do not stick on only to the peer group one side or the senior group one side, which is always happening, that the seniors surround the top man and the top man is also involved with the seniors and the juniors form a group. That's a very, very wrong thing in human relations. Now, I like to mention another incident that I saw, that in a very good company where I was on the board, the chairman was a foreigner, and we were having a get-together, annual get-together of the company. I was just invited as one of the board members, and I saw this man. Everybody was surrounding this foreign person who was the chairman, because all seniors after him here, there. He left them, he walked to a table where we had, very junior staff, and he shook hands with few of them. You will be surprised, some of them tell me, they wouldn't show their hand to anybody. Says, "Aaj hamare boss ne humse haath milaya." For them, it's a lifetime story. They not only related it there. Do you know, my boss shook hands with me, asked me. He offered me from the plate he was eating. He says, "Why don't you share something?" It was a very big thing for a junior, and a lifetime talking. He must have told this to thousands of people in parties, at home, in functions, to his relations. See how much promotion he has given to your company and to the person. So these are very small little things which we know, which we do at home also. This is what we call human interaction. So if you have any question, we can interact. This is a topic which we can go on talking with.
Yes, very enlightening such kind of stories you are telling. So I would like to also share in private companies, some of the, one boss asked his employee, send some message. He sends, when the next increment will be, boss says, "Acha tha." The other side you can understand, how do you dare to ask such things. So these things make difference between the good relation and the bad relations, because the employee have the right to ask, have the share with such things.
Now see, promotions not only be this little something I see. Everybody, the moment you enter an organization, your biodata is the first thing they ask you. So they know your date of birth. They know about your everything. So what's wrong if on the day of your birthday, a bud of rose with a little letter from your top boss is on your table saying happy birthday. It may mean ke today it's for me, tomorrow it's going to for you. It's a
Yeah.
routine thing. But outside, when I carry that rose bud and this thing, I'll show it to 20 people. Say, look, I've been wished happy birthday by my boss.
Yes.
It's an elevation. You feel so happy. You want to do something more than the money you get from the office for the organization, for the boss, for the top man who has done it. We are all actually, human feelings are common not only with the top people. Human beings are same down below the line and up on the ladder. Somebody is lucky to be on the top of the ladder.
Right.
Somebody is still at the bottom of the ladder. But as human beings, they're all the same. And being the same, they all have the common feelings. I know you all must be feeling it, getting it, the experience every day.
Yeah.
Sometimes you feel so disgusted
Right.
and bad that you feel, what for I'm working? What is this life that I'm leading? But these are the questions which needs to be eliminated from the life of human beings if we are on human relations.
Right. So, how do you suppose you are given a task to evaluate such kind think of any organization? What could be the criteria? How will you evaluate that whether this organization is having a good relation with human or not? Because that is the like we have in a practice now, environment testing,
Yeah.
the other kind of testing. So now we need to adopt such kind of practices also that will help in whether this organization having a good relations practice or not.
Now to start with,
Or standardize this.
I like to tell you one thing. Brand image is something which is talked about the most in management fields today. Everybody is talking about the brand image. You know, what do you think? Suppose I offer you a job in a company unknown like Ramchand something something, and I say, well, there's a job going in a Tata or a some very well-known company like I'll talk about Infotech or something like that.
Right.
So you are a novice. I may offer you a bigger salary with Ramchand, but you will say, no, I'll go to that company. Why do you have that sort of image in your mind? Why do you think that company is better than this one? It's the images. Suppose admission time, there is a college called St. Stephen's, why everybody is running to it. And there's a college called a ordinary college in a small town. You say, no, if I get a chance, I'll love to go to. You know, brand images, why are they formed? Why do we formulate? These are not formed by basically the amenities they give. They're formed by human beings. The human beings, how they're treated, how they're looked after, what all do they do in an organization matters. So what I'm trying to tell you is, to judge a company or judge an organization on its human relations is basically from what the people working inside talk about that company.
No.
Unless the people talking about in that company, sitting in that company, talk good about that company or proud of the place where they're working, we can feel that human relations are missing. I shouldn't name it, but most of the government offices, if you go, generally people are so depressed. They just say, ठीक है, आते हैं, काम करते हैं, चले जाते हैं. You know, you'll never find them enthusiastic. Like if you go to a good company, I'll not name a few companies are there who are supposed to be ace companies. They may be private companies. But I tell you something, that you meet the employees and for them, ma'am, this is like this is like this is like, they talk so much about their company, so many things they talk about their company. We go for picnics, we do this thing, we have this, we get a holiday, we get a package for our family. So many things they talk. It's not that, basically government doesn't get all those things. People do get all those things. But what is missing is human relations. You know, a touch of belonging, a touch of feeling that you are the part who are running the whole show.
Right.
Without you, nothing will happen. So unless a person gets that, even a PN should have that feeling that bina mere jaye kaam nahi hoga. He has to tell his family, oh, I am very important, boss is looking for me. So that's called human relations, where human beings you innovate that they become your spokesperson, they become your PRs, they become your brand sellers.
Right.
And the day this happens, you will find the images going up. You ill-treat a person, you don't expect that person to come and talk something good about you. Somewhere in his mind, he will say something about you. So tell people that they are also same as you are. It's only the positional change. What's wrong if you tell, having a cup of tea yourself, you tell somebody else also, कि भाई तुम भी चाय पी लो. Your driver sometimes, we forget we are having a good party inside, forget that poor thing is waiting outside for 5 hours. If you just tell him, it's a human relation, कि तुम भी कुछ खा लेना. Give him a small little,
Right.
not that उसकी तो ड्यूटी है 12 बजे तक रुकने की, वो तो रुकेगा. That is called binding people on duty, on authority, not binding them with human bindings, which is very necessary.
Yeah, that need to be recognized. Human binding is better than the
The
duty
other
binding
one.
or
That
other
way,
binding.
a duty is there.
Yeah.
Everybody is performing a duty. But so long as you have a human bounding is missing, things won't work. So for efficiency, for better atmosphere in the office, for better working, for your own interest of creating a brand image, it is absolutely necessary that you have what you call a human bounding. And that comes with human relations, treating human beings, human machines as a bundle of sensitivity, feeling कि अगर we also have 5 cents, they also have 5 cents. And you can't have, a person you keep looking straight and there is a big blast outside and then you can turn your head and see and you don't tell the other person, no, why did you turn your head? I told you to look forward. You can't turn your head. No, it's a human nature. If there's a sound outside, if you are turning your head, the other person will also turn his head in curiosity. So these are the things which we must realize. And I'm very happy to say that modern management has started realizing it, and a time will come very soon when those who are not realizing will gradually go on to these lines. And then you will find that the whole country will get into a different setup. This dissatisfaction down there, the people being treated like nobody, will go away. And you will, like in other countries, I've seen that in the morning somebody is going cleaning the garbage from the roads, but in the evening in the pub he's sitting next to you having his drink. There's nothing wrong about it. Dignity of labor, dignity of work at any level. And for that, a time has come that management really puts in some amount separately. All that investment going on big machines, modernization, should also think of modernizing the human relations.
Yes.
That is what I feel. I don't know how you feel. Do we have any questions to ask? We still have a few minutes and
Yeah.
we can ask some questions or
Yeah, so these practices, as you said, need to be established and adopted in not only the private but other government organization also. And now the things are moving towards this
They are
line.
moving
Yeah,
towards better.
PSU and other department have already adopted. Few of the organization even wishing on the day of birthday, anniversary, etc. So I think the things are moving in the right direction. But still the things are that is not standardized, means we can say also quantify to what extent we need to do, because sometimes one feel the threat of their authority, threat of something. If we do this way, we wish the
person
may the result will be otherwise also. So such kind of perception, how
there's
this
always
could
a
be
fear.
Yeah.
I agree with you. There's always a fear in the mind of the management that if we become little friendly or if we do these things, there'll be indiscipline. The question of indiscipline comes, and why they feel that there's going to be indiscipline is
And they think the sanctity of the post will
go
down.
away.
Yeah.
You are very right, and that fear psychosis takes them to that authoritative feeling कि बस हम तो boss हैं, and we as our authority should keep ordering, that's all.
Yes.
The bosses refuse to come out of the rooms into the
Yes.
main halls
Whether
or
it's a
move
good
about
learning outside or
departments.
not,
Yeah,
doesn't
it's-
matter for them.
it doesn't matter for them. The reason is that they feel
Yeah.
कि if I go on moving in and out of my room, people will think he is nobody. He is not an authoritative person. When you sit and call 20 people in your room one by one, आप आइए, इनको बुलाइए, इनको करिए, then you feel, my God, I'm the big boss. So, you know, the chairs and the bosses are not by chairs or rooms or the atmosphere they get. They are bosses because they are capable of administering. So once that confidence comes into the top level, then probably, as you were rightly saying, the things will move faster.
Yeah.
The fear psychosis of indiscipline will go away. You've seen engineers working. I admire them. I've seen them in mills. You know what they do is they go to the workers, put their hand on workers' shoulder, sometimes tell them, "Acha, aise nahi, isko aise kar rahe ho. Do like this," and they're going to the machines and try to help them out. Now, I've seen that relation between the worker and the engineer sometimes are so amicably good. And sometimes they share a cup of tea with them also. You know, that glass le lega, uska will sit in the same thing. Okay, he'll pick up a glass and is drinking the same tea as the other person is drinking another glass. And they're chit-chatting about the machine, maintenance of the machine, about the quality of the product. So I feel that atmosphere will have to be gradually tilting down. And it is there. We are copying so many things in the management field from abroad, and we give references of the big authors and books. So time has come that we also think about,
Okay.
you know,
It
factually
means
doing
they
it.
need to be educated. The authority is not of only chairs and position, but the
Yes.
authority of respect, authority of other
Yeah.
things.
Because if you've seen the Japanese system of management, which is considered to be the best system in the world today, it's again walking and talking. The boss will have a shishe ka kamra, you can see what he's doing. He'll walk in and out of the office to various departments, sit on their chairs, talk to them there, go back to his room, again go to another department, sit there. That's what we call walking and talking. And Japanese are the most successful people in management today because their system is walking and talking, mixing up. You'll find the chairman just mixing. If we have 5 minutes, maybe I can tell you a little story
Yeah.
which the students will enjoy. You know, once the Americans wanted a colony to be built, so they invited tenders, and they called Japanese, they called Indians, and they called what you call Britishers. So the Britishers are very, you know, methodical type of people. So Britishers sent a tender with 4 or 5 of their engineers and quoted the thing. Then the Indians, you know, in India, generally whatever you know is happens. The top people went and they said, we'll let you know by talking to our experts. Things finished. Came the turn of Japanese, and they got a letter from Japan saying that, well, we want you to book rooms for 40 people and arrange a conference room for us. Now, these Americans were very shocked. So, well, they did so, and on the day of the tenders coming, these 40 people arrived in a flight. They were in a room, and then they came back on the appointed time, and they said, yes, what all do you want? They understood the whole requirement of Americans, and they said, give us half an hour. And after half an hour, they said, well, these are our terms, and they got the tender. Americans were very, very worried. They said, what did they do in that half an hour? So they talked to their chairman, and he said, well, I'm not going to implement the job. I'm only the chairman. These are the people who are heading the various departments, and they're the people. So they interacted and they committed. कर ले, जब इन सब ने commit किया, किसने कहा मैं raw material दे दूंगा, finance वाले ने कहा finance available कर दूंगा. Now they're all responsible, and I'm asking for the tender, and I assure you the job will be done in much lesser time than what you're giving us. So that's called a human relations.
Okay. So, well, friends, with this good story, we wind up today's lecture. I thank all of you for watching the lecture, and on your behalf, I thank Professor Nilmar Bhatnagar for giving such an insightful lecture on this very topic. Thank you very much.